Today we're going to do some basic tree identification, and I'm going to share some hikes that you can do in the Milbridge area where you can practice identifying those trees later on. If you want to know more about any of the hikes that I mentioned in this video, take a look at the links in the description of this video. Let's get started. We're going to start with the first tree, which is white pine, which I'm standing next to right here.
Here's a great example of a white pine, the state tree of Maine. It's our wispiest pine with long needles that blow in the breeze. Take a close look at the needles of white pine. It's our only pine tree that has needles bundled in groups of 5. You can remember that because both the word white and Maine have 5 letters in them. Be sure to look at more than one bundle of needles when you're counting, just in case one fell out. A great place to see some white pines in the area is on the Wheeled Bethel trails along the Narragansett River in Cherryfield. Bald eagles often nest in these pines.
Next up, let's learn about the differences between fir and spruce trees.
Can you remember the difference between spruces and firs? If you make or enjoy holiday wreaths, you should be quite familiar with balsam fir. Their needles are flat, so you can't easily roll a needle between your fingers. They are also quite soft, so you won't get poked by them. Balsam fir trees also have pitch bubbles in their bark, and they smell great. You can remember some of those qualities of a balsam fir tree by the 3 F's: flat, friendly, fir. We have several types of spruce trees here, including red spruce, black spruce, and white spruce, and they often grow near balsam fir trees. But before you can tell the difference between spruce trees, it's most important to know the difference between any kind of spruce tree and a balsam fir. How are fir and spruce needles different? If you look at the end of a spruce needle, you'll notice it's quite square, so you can easily roll it between your fingers. The needles are also quite rigid and sharp, so you can remember a spruce tree by the 3 S's: sharp, square, spruce.
We have a lot of spruce fir forests all across down East Maine, but some of my favorite hikes to check out those spruce fir forests include Tunk Mountain and the Hidden Ponds Loop just west of Cherryfield, as well as the Frank E. Woodworth Preserve over in Harrington.
Our last group of trees for today's video is birches. These trees have light-colored, peeling bark, great for starting fires, among many other amazing things. But remember to never peel the bark off a living tree, as that can kill the tree.
Unsurprisingly, you can find a lot of birch trees along the Birch Point Trail down Pigeon Hill Road in Steuben. Also on that road, you can find birch trees and a lot of the other trees we've mentioned as well along the Hollingsworth Trail that goes along the coast and on Pigeon Hill itself.
Now it's time for your tree quiz, so you'll be ready to get outside and identify them. What's this tree? Its needles are sharp and easy to roll between your fingers. This one is the spruce tree. How about these trees? Their bark is very light in color and usually peeling. If you guessed birch trees, you are right. How about this one? Its needles are friendly to touch, and its bark has pitch bubbles. This one is a balsam fir. And lastly, what's the Maine state tree? White pine with 5 needles per bundle. Now you can quiz your family on these trees on your next hike.
Now it's your turn to practice some tree identification along any of our amazing hikes here in down East Maine. If you want to learn more about any of those hikes, don't forget to check the links in the description of this video for more information.